Hello and welcome to StudyIQ English. Today, once again, the Indian Parliament monsoon session seems to have erupted in a warlike situation. If you have been following the news, then today's newspaper articles were full of how once again the leading party at the center and the opposition party, they have erupted in a battle of words and ideas. And this time it is all about a new bill that the government wants to introduce in order to bring more transparency, more morality in Indian public administration. This is all about how the government at the center wants to create one such bill under which any minister of parliament who has been convicted in a serious crime should be made to vacate his or her parliamentary seat immediately. They do not want to allow people with a criminal background to be representing people in the parliament. Now, the opposition leaders are angry. They say that India is now becoming a dictatorship from being a transparent, open democracy. So, what do you think? Is the bill actually a move to make the government more honest, transparent, and corruption free? Or is this purely a political gimmick, as what the opposition parties are highlighting? Let's look into the issue, and we know that in this war of words, the key issue happens to be how the government of India, in its 20th day of the monsoon session of the parliament sitting, announced that three new bills shall be laid out. Among these three new bills, the most important one, is going to be the 130th Amendment Bill 2025. The other shall be the Government of Union Territories Amendment Bill 2025, while the third is going to be Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Amendment Bill of 2025. Now, these three bills were tabled by India's Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, and why is it a matter of controversy? Is because this bill also allows any prime ministerial candidate, chief ministers of various states, or other ministers at the center and the state, including union territories, to be removed from their office, to be made to vacate their seat in case they have been arrested and kept in jail for over a period of 30 days without getting bail, especially for serious crimes. Second thing is that the bill also seeks that all these people shall be arrested in case they fail to vacate their seat. Automatically, the eviction will happen in case these accused candidates do not willingly come and submit their resignation papers. So, therefore, this has sparked a huge debate as always. While the opposition seems to be really very, very angry, it says that it is becoming like a Gunda Raj, where the government is doing absolutely what it wants to do. We are going back to the medieval times, where the king and aristocrats had the right to determine how the state shall be governed. There was absolutely no opportunity for people to raise a voice of dissent, to criticize, and to experience a truly democratic liberty. This is the opposition's take, but for the government, it will be a revolutionary move. That's what it says, at least. That it will make our governance, it will make our public administration absolutely spotless. People with a criminal background should have no place in the parliament. So, this is the stake right now. Let's look at the bill a little bit in more detail. So, talking about the main 130th Amendment Bill, it clearly clarifies that those ministers of parliament, as I said, including the prime minister or the chief ministers of various states or the ministers of parliament, MLAs, in case they are found to be arrested for a serious crime and they have to serve the jail imprisonment for consecutive, continuous 30-day period without getting any bail in between, then they shall have to evict their seat. Or, on the other hand, if these ministers are facing any charge of a very serious nature, which demands an imprisonment of 5 years or more, even then they shall be disqualified, debarred from holding their present seat in the parliament or the state legislative assembly, including the union territories, of course. This is a very unique proposition by the government because we all know that, as per a very interesting report The report is referred to as a parliamentary report which clearly says that in India, 40% of people who hold the positions of ministers in the parliament have had some or the other criminal charge on them, either before they entered the parliament or while they were working as a minister. Now, this high rate of conviction found among political leaders is actually a matter of ethical concern. We say that we are the largest democracy in the world. And at the same time, is there a room for allowing people with a criminal background to work in such a respectable, in such a reputed position? So, this is what is at stake today in India's democracy. Now, according to the opposition leader, we are actually creating a kind of autocracy or a dictatorship where the government now can remove anybody that they have to. This is what at least the opposition leader Rahul Gandhi says today. But the government is saying that everything shall be done according to a proper systematic procedure. Nobody will remove a minister who is accused of a crime just on discretion. But in fact, the Bill 130th Amendment allows for a proper protocol, which means that in case the Prime Minister is convicted of such a charge, then it will be the President who will take this decision for his removal. Similarly, if it is the Chief Minister or MLAs of the state, then the decision will have to be done by the governor of the state. And something similar applies to the union territories as well. For the ministers of the UTs, it shall be the lieutenant governor who is the head of the UT for administrative purpose. He or she will decide the eviction protocol of the accused minister. So, what exactly is wrong with the bill? A good thing about the bill is that it also allows for another benefit and provision. It says that all these people who once accused and removed from their position will be allowed to come back and get a reappointment to the same post once they have been cleared of all their charges. So once they are cleared of their criminal charges, once they are released, in that case, they can come and get reappointed to the same position. But at least until they face the charge, we cannot allow them to sit in the parliament, whether at the center or at the state. So let's quickly look at 2 or 3 most important provisions of this important 130th Amendment Bill. The first thing is that this bill proposes to amend the existing Article 75, Article 164, Article 239AA of the Indian Constitution as of now. As per Article 75, the Constitution tells exactly how to appoint and how to allocate responsibility of the Council of Ministers, including that of the Prime Minister. This is Article 75's purview. But once, in case this bill is passed and it becomes a law, then it shall be changing Article 75 structure. Similarly, it also proposes to amend Article 164, quite an important article of the Indian Constitution, which talks about provisions related to Council of Ministers in the state. The last is Article 239AA of the Constitution, which outlines special provisions for New Delhi, that is the National Capital Territory of Delhi. So all these 3 articles of existing Constitution, they will have to go or undergo a change if the 130th Amendment Bill actually tomorrow gets passed and it becomes a law. So that is why the controversy is on, and the bill also clarifies, therefore, that in case there is a removal of a prime minister who's involved in any such case in future, then it shall be the president who can initiate the proceeding. And as I said, in case of chief minister, it shall be the governor who will be responsible for the chief minister, and other state ministers' removal on chief minister's advice. So it lays a proper step-by-step protocol. And the most interesting thing is that the government is saying there is no need for the opposition to create such a huge uproar, because the bill is not prohibiting any accused minister, once removed, to not be allowed to seek a reappointment. Because clearly, once you are released, once you are free of all the charges, you can be re-elected absolutely. So today we are once again caught up in a battle of ideas. Whether this move to pass the 130th Amendment Bill absolutely within the domain of democracy, is it constitutional, or actually does it give too much freedom to the government to use and abuse such powers on their discretion? What if it is abused by political parties to further their own agenda? It's easier for the people in power to deliberately get opposition members convicted for some or the other crime, and on that plea, evict them from the parliament. Ultimately, it will destroy the present nature of stable democracy that we have in India, where along with the ruling party, the opposition members have an equal stake in discussing all the important parliamentary issues. So that's the debate as of now. Now, when we talk about how is this bill going to help us in case it becomes a law? According to the present government, yes, it will create good constitution, good governance, and it will uphold the principle of constitutional morality. Right? Second thing is, it also says that we can trust our ministers without any doubt in case all of them come from a clean background. When we remove those who have some or the other criminal charge on them, there is no question of trusting such leaders who have a tainted image in public light. What example will such leaders set in front of the citizens at large? There is another question that as of now in today's constitution, there is no clear-cut removal provision that is existing. When we talk about how ministers can be removed only on the pleasure of governor or the president. Of course, they are bound by the advice of the Council of Ministers. But at the same time, there is no such clear-cut criteria that on what basis shall the accused minister who has any kind of proven misconduct, any kind of a criminal charge behind him or her, that person shall be removed. We do not know. We do not have a clear-cut protocol. So maybe this helps in giving us that kind of a clarity in future. So as of now, it is caught up in a debate. There is no clarity whether what shall happen tomorrow. And therefore, all three bills that we spoke about right now are pending before the joint committee of the parliament. So this is all about this new debate that has broken up. What do you think? If I ask you a general question, what do you think is valid? Is actually passing such a bill which removes the prospect of criminals or criminally accused leaders in the parliament a good solution? Will it create morality in India's public administration? Or do you think it's nothing but vendetta? Do you think it's nothing but a politically tainted agenda? You can obviously, absolutely post your comments, opinions, views in the comment box, and I would love to hear your opinion. In the meantime, let me quickly show you a UPSC 2013 prelims question related to this topic. It says, which of the following statements is or are correct? Is correct. A says, in India, the same person cannot be appointed as the governor of two or more states at the same time. Second says, the judges of the High Court of States in India are appointed by the governor of the state, just as the judges of the Supreme Court are done by the president. Third says, no procedure has been laid down in the Constitution of India for the removal of a governor from his or her post. And the last is, in case of union territory, having a legislative setup, the chief minister is appointed by the lieutenant governor on the basis of majority support. So this is quite a direct question. I would really appreciate if you can try and answer the question, and do let me know which option would you like to pick from these, and yes, please post it in the comment box. In the meantime, if you enjoy such short videos based on current affairs, the new controversies that are happening right now in India, then do like, do share, please subscribe the channel Study IQ English, and see you soon with many other such interesting topics.